You guys arrive at Dragonsteel Quarry. Now, Dragonsteel Quarry is where the Black Scales send all of their prisoners. So anytime they capture somebody in battle, they send them there to mine Dragonsteel in order for them to keep making stuff for their army. So basically what happens is you guys arrive, but there are usually perimeter guards and stuff like that. Gregor now is conscious and back on his horse and basically tells you guys that he's going to send his thieves out to the areas around to do some scouting, as well as him and Lorna are going to do that as well. And once they have a scouting report, they're going to come back and see where Vorgol is and where the wagon is to see if maybe they can spot it. If any of you guys want to go along, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'll go along.
All right, you're going to go along. Kane, since you got the long-range weapon, are you going to go along?
Yeah, I'll go with them too, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are the two, like, stealthy characters. Velnos, you going to go with them as well, or are you just going to fuck around with shit? Okay, Velnos is going to go with you. So Syra is going to stay back at the camp. Uhtred is probably going to stay back with Syra while you guys do the scouting. So the thieves are kind of spread out along the edges of the quarry, and Dralark is going to go with Lorna for obvious reasons, and Gregor is going to go with Cham and Kane. Everybody, please roll a spot check to see what you can see. You guys are kind of all around the area, so you're just kind of surveying everything. And I will roll for Gregor's 4 Thieves Guild members. You guys are able to gather enough intelligence from the rest of you that you see that what looks like a small encampment of Dragonborn outside of the quarry, outside of the main area of the quarry, and the carriage is also there. You don't see Vorgol, however, but you do see that the carriage is there, and there are probably about 5 or 6 Dragonborn that are around it. So now that you guys have kind of the lay of the land, you return to your little camp of creatures and stuff like that that are waiting outside the quarry. Okay, so you guys report that, so you're going to have to come up with a plan at this point. So you're going to have to discuss what you want to do. It's up to you. You can also tell Gregor and Lorna to do whatever you feel is necessary, as well as Gregor's 4 thieves.
How far away are we from their encampment?
You're a decent ways away. You're probably like at least a mile off. You're over the sand dunes so that they can't see you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just roll around in the sand, like for a bit, in order to get all that smell, like the shit dookie smell off me.
You roll around in the sand. You still smell like shit. Could I make a suggestion?
Sure.
You can fit inside the Zeratan's mouth, so it could lick you clean. However, Kane will have to instruct it not to eat you.
I might let it eat you, though.
Fuck it, do it.
Kane, are you going to instruct it to just, wash it off with its tongue?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so Cham, the Zeratan opens its mouth and you leap in. The Zeratan then proceeds to very daintily lick you clean, basically, and then you leap down from its mouth. So you no longer smell like poo. Instead, you just smell like Zeratan mouth, but that's acceptable for the desert.
I'm going to start walking towards the direction of the encampment.
You're not going to talk anything out with anybody else? You're just going to go in?
Yeah, I'm just going to start walking.
So everybody else, are you guys going to plan, or are you going to follow the one guy who's going off to just go get himself killed?
We should probably go with him so he doesn't get himself killed.
Fair enough. Okay,
that is absolute rubbish. We should totally let him go alone and get himself killed.
Yeah, but, less work in the long run.
I don't see how us staying behind and doing literally nothing is more work.
Because we're going to have to do more work later on. And then when he's not there and he's dead...
I already do all the work.
Yeah, but I can't argue with that. Maybe we should leave him.
Velno said he's going to follow you. Okay, you're going to move silently behind the frog. Okay. So, roll a move silently check. All right, Cham, you're going to have to roll, I guess listen check? Because he's sneaking behind you to see if you notice him. You do not notice Dralark sneaking behind you, but he is there, so he's following you. Kane and Rock, are you guys going to stay at the camp, or are you going to follow as well?
I feel like I should. Yeah, I'll go.
I'm going to go, but I'm not going to let them know I'm going. I'm just going to go so high they can't see me.
So you're going to go up way, way up into the clouds. So you're going to fly, so you can still see them from a bird's eye view, but they don't really notice you, or they won't notice you unless they look straight up for whatever reason. So you're going to follow them like that, and Kane, you're just going to follow along with Cham. So Kane, you saw Velno sneak behind him already because you saw him before he did the sneak roll. So you're aware of it, but I'm assuming you're just not going to tell Cham about it.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So you and Cham are going to walk together. Velnos is going to sneak behind you, and Raka is going to stealth through the air. I'm going to say Arch is also going to accompany the 2 frogs along the way, because he's definitely going to be needed for this, probably.
Are they surrounded, or is it just plain open desert?
The area where you are looking, There is some open desert. There are also some cliffs and some high rock faces because of where the quarry is. So this is kind of like, it's a bouldery area to the back of where the wagon is, but the area between you and the wagon is all desert.
All right, so I'm going to go to the bouldery area.
Keep in mind, Raka, you can see all this stuff from an aerial view. You're able to successfully move silently, so you're hiding behind a boulder that's a little bit bigger than you, so that way they can't see you. But you are much closer to the camp now. You can see things a lot more clearly.
Do a spot check to just look around, see if there's anything particularly important that will help with the group.
You notice that it looks like all of the guards are roughly the same rank. However, they all appear to be a little bit more beefy than your normal Dragonborn soldiers. None of them really stand out as an official leader. All right, so Cham, you're able to identify that. So Kane, you guys are a little bit further away. You're up on a hill, so they can't really see you guys. You're kind of like a little bit over a sand dune.
Mm-hmm.
And Raka, again, you're in the air, so you can see kind of all this stuff taking place and where the different guys are moving.
How spread out are they?
They're all in kind of a small little general area, like right around where the wagon is. Probably they're all within 30 feet of each other.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
You cast invisibility on yourself. You are now invisible.
And I'm gonna stealthily go over to the wagon, and I'm gonna plant myself underneath.
Do a move silently check, just to see that they don't notice the noise of you moving around, even though they can't see you. All right, again, you successfully are able to get under the wagon.
Able to see if there's any holes underneath that I could find.
There are none. The entire wagon is sealed up tight. There is not even a window in it. It is armored literally to the teeth.
I'm gonna press my ear against it, see if I can listen. If I can hear anything.
Roll listen check. You do not hear anything. So you've discerned basically that there's no simple way to get into the wagon other than through the side door, which is locked, and there doesn't appear to be any noises coming from inside of it.
While I'm invisible, am I able to bite my way ever so slowly to the side where the door is at?
The side where the door is at has 2 guards standing at it.
So I'm going to stay in place for the time.
Okay, you're going to stay in place. All right, the guys on the hill, are you guys going to do anything?
I'm gonna stay up in the sky until Tura gets tired.
Kane, are you going to do anything? You're up on the hill there with your rifle. Syra is also with you. She's kind of just looking out. She has a little spyglass.
Not yet. I'll just keep an eye out.
Okay, so you're just going to keep an eye out. So do you want to roll a spot check to see if you see anything?
Sure.
Okay, roll a spot check. You do notice, obviously, the 6 Dragonborn that are standing there. There are 2 that are directly in front of the carriage that Cham is under, and there are another 3 that are kind of spread out in the area. Velnos, is that a stealth check? Okay, that was a spot check. As you're looking, a leaf from your armor gets in your eye, and you can't really see, so you have to kind of brush that out of the way, so you don't really see anything. So, Kane, you also do notice that there appears to be a chain on the front of the cart that is on the ground. Maybe something that could have been pulling it or attached to it, but there's nothing that appears to be attached to the chain.
Yeah.
You don't see any other movement in the area. The only other thing in there is the rock face behind it, and then you have Dragonsteel Quarry that's kind of up and over in the background.
Okay.
Okay, so are you guys going to wait it out and see if anything happens?
Sure.
All right, so everybody kind of just camps out for a little while. So I'm going to roll quickly just to see if there's anything that's interesting. Cham, you're underneath the wagon. I want you to roll a listen check. All right, so that's a 19. Cham, every once in a while, you kind of hear like a jingling noise, like metal jingling. So other than that, you don't really hear anything else, just the Dragonborn talking amongst themselves, which they're speaking in... Do you have Draconic?
Yes.
So you can understand them. They're mostly just griping about, having
This
to do
is
a
bullshit.
stupid...
This is bullshit. Trust me, I know exactly what they're saying.
Other than that little jingling noise that you hear a couple of times, you don't really... There's nothing else. I'm going to say you take a short rest, which is going to be about 2 hours.
Mind if I roll another listen check to see if I could tell what that clanging is?
If you want to roll another listen check to see if you can discern where it's coming from, you can. 12, you can discern that it's coming from the front of the wagon, but other than that, you don't really know exactly where it's emanating from, because there's no Dragonborn that are standing there.
I'm going to do a spot check as well to see if I could look at the feet of those that's near the door.
You can cleanly see them from where you are. They're still standing there. All right, so if you guys are going to wait until dark, I'll say that you're going to wait about 6 hours. Raka, when it gets dark, I'm going to say, because it's kind of useless other than spotting campfires, you do fly back down with your griffin.
No, I'd probably fly down once I couldn't see them anymore.
So you fly down. You're kind of camped out with Syra and Kane and Velnos. And Cham is still kind of just sitting underneath the wagon. By the way, Kane, because you have your rifle and stuff and you have really, really good eyesight, you are able to discern that Cham is underneath the wagon. So you guys do know what his location is, but you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing at this point. You're just kind of scouting things out. Again, in those 6 hours, I'm going to roll another d20 to see if you notice anything. Ooh, okay. So in those 6 hours, you see that the Dragonborn that are around the carriage are just sort of kind of melandering about. There's nothing really going on too much with them. However, Cham, you hear that jingling noise again, but it gets really loud this time, and you feel what feels like kind of like a movement in the ground a little bit. It feels like there was some kind of a motion that happened in the ground that was in the near the front of the carriage. I'm going to have you roll a check. So when you're rolling the search check, you look up in the front and you see that there was a chain that you've noticed earlier that was attached to the front of the wagon. The end of the chain is going into the sand, and the chain occasionally looks like it moves, but you're not sure why.
Oh, it's underneath.
You can make a wisdom check to see if you can just kind of discern what's going on. All right, you have no idea what the fuck is attached to the other end of that thing, but you think that there is definitely something that's moving it. It's not moving on its own. So is anybody going to do anything, or are you guys going to keep waiting?
Bro, Uhtred is straight tapping his foot, just waiting. Probably sparks up a joint from Hodin's hole that he knows he's not supposed to have, but ain't nobody around.
I don't know how you would send a message. The only way I could think of you sending a message with it would be if you wrote it down and you used one of your vines and you put it in the vine and the vine went down under the sand and just popped up in front of him. Okay, so Velnos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you roll dexterity, and you're going to very carefully weave your vine under the sand until you get to Cham's position. At 21, you are able to do that. So Cham, you're underneath the carriage, and you just see a little vine pop up directly in front of your face with a rolled up note in it, and the vine drops the note in front of you and then recedes back into the ground and goes back up to where Velnos is.
I grab the note.
Okay, you read the note. Velnos, what does the note say? What do your frogger eyes see? Also gargle my balls. I'm going to say that actually, Velnos, you kept the vine in the same position, and Cham, you're going to be able to write down on the note what you see.
Yeah, I just put down clanging noise up in the front. Looks like the chains go underground.
So you write that on the note, and you put it back in...
I put it in amphibian, suck my dick.
Amphibian, which he can't read.
Just the suck my dick part.
All right, so you send that back up. So everybody else gets relayed that information from Velnos. So Draylark basically says that it looks like the chain that is in the front of the wagon is going into the ground, and it looks like there may be something either under the wagon or under the sand somewhere near the wagon. Draylark then writes sex dungeon ? On the paper and returns it back to you. Velnos rolled. I'm going to use gather information to see their patrol patterns. So he rolls an 18. Velnos, based on what you can see, there are 2 that are in front, and the 4 that are on the perimeter are kind of constantly rotating around. They're just basically they're at like a 30 to 60 foot radius, and they're all just kind of rotating around with the torches. So they're not really going too far outside of the area. They're just kind of keeping a general perimeter. Cham, what are you going to do?
Deep slumber.
All right, each one of them has 2 hit dice, so that would be 5. So all but one of them will fall asleep.
All of them that are close, and the one that's farthest away is going to be awake.
Okay, so one of the perimeter guards is going to be awake. Kane, do you want to take care of that one?
Yeah, I'll roll to take care of it.
Cham, I'm going to say that you knock all of the 5 of them, the 2 that are in front of the cart, and 3 out of the 4 perimeter guards. They're going to go unconscious. There's going to be 1 standing. You can roll attack. You're going to get an attack of opportunity because he's not going to know what the hell's going on. So it's going to be an additional +2 to whatever you're doing. Well,
let's
20,
go.
That will hit. So your magnum rounds, I believe, are those?
Yeah. So 24 times 2 is 48.
Yeah, no, you torched him. He's fucking dead. The magnum round goes right through his chest and blows a hole the size of a tangerine in it. He's dead.
I'm going to use a listen check, see if the rattling goes crazy because of the loud noise. Oh.
Ooh, that's a nat 20. Okay. So basically what's going to happen is you put all the other guards to sleep. You put down your mist. As soon as you fire the shot and everybody drops down, Cham, that chain goes from jingling to it begins popping out of the sand. And you see that the chain doesn't go under the wagon. Instead, the chain leads somewhere else. And the chain begins popping up out of the sand and becoming very tight. Now, as that happens, almost instantaneously, the wagon begins to move very, very quickly towards where the chain is being pulled from. And the chain is being pulled from behind a boulder. So what's going to happen is I'm going to give you a reflex save because you're under the wagon right now to make sure you don't get run over by a wagon wheel. That's enough of a reflex save.
Yeah, I'm staying planted on the bottom.
You're going to latch yourself to the bottom as it goes. So the wagon speeds off, basically, and it's going to smash into a rock, into a boulder, because it's going to go straight into a rock wall. So you are going to have to roll a strength check to stay on. All right, you are not able to cling onto it indefinitely, so it flies into the wall, and the front end just gets fucking annihilated. But fortunately enough, you're able to lose your grip because of the sudden jerking motion of the wagon actually moving, and you drop off the bottom. So you're kind of just lying on the dirt there as the wagon kind of just semi-explodes on the rocks. You then begin to hear a loud thumping noise.
I'm gonna quickly get immediately down on the ground, like flat as I can, and then my armor is gonna use natural camouflage.
All right, so you're going to do that, and you're going to wait. Now, keep in mind, everybody else is still up on the hillside. That means Uhtred, Syra, Kermit, and Dralark are all up on the hillside. So you guys also hear this, even though you're that far away. You hear a loud thumping noise. Cham, from where you are, it is shaking the ground, but you don't see anything, even though it appears to be coming closer to where you are.
Dralark, that's you and that woman doing coitus again. The Lord will punish you.
He says no. Lorna also looks over to you and says, "Do I look like I'm having sex right now?"
No, one can never be too sure, especially with your lot.
I think the tinted visor on that helmet might be a bit much for you. All right, so basically what's going to happen is, Cham, I want you to roll a spot check. Cham, you start to see what looks like imprints of feet, without feet, coming from behind the boulder where the chain was pulled from.
Huh. I'm staying silent as I can.
So that's going to be a plus 10. So, Cham, I'm going to have you roll, and it's going to have to beat a 25. So, as this noise and footprints come towards you, you hear a loud... What becomes visible in front of you is a 30-foot-tall armored dragonborn as it's crushing what appears to be what looks like some kind of a magical gem in one of its hands. It then lets it go and looks down directly at you. It can see you.
Toodaloo, I'm dipping. I'm running.
Okay, keep in mind as well, this is in full view of everybody else. So Kermit, Dralark, Uhtred, and Syra all see this as well. This thing appear. The large dragonborn then yells out, "Come out before I have to kill the rest of you."
How far away am I towards
the mist?
Yeah.
You're probably about 30 feet away from the mist itself, from the edge of it.
Yeah, I'm running towards the mist.
So here's the only thing that I will say, though. You're going to roll the jump check. At the same time, he is going to use his dragon breath attack because he's a dragonborn and they all technically have those, which is dragon breath, which is acid. So he is going to spray that behind you. So you're going to have a decent jump check to escape the 30-foot radius. You do not have a decent jump check. Okay, so that is an area of effect attack. That is a cone effect that does 30 feet. Which means you don't make the mist, which is 30 feet away. So everything between the mist and the dragonborn is going to get hit by that attack, which means you're going to take the damage. So that is going to be 4d6 worth of damage. That is 15. All right, so you take 15 damage from the dragonborn's acid breath. Since he's far enough behind you and he just released that attack, I'm going to say after the damage is done, you're able to get into the mist. So he's going to have to roll again to see if he can actually see you. So that's a 22. You'll have to beat a 22. Oh, you torched that. Okay, so he lost track of you in the mist, so he has no idea where you are, and he just used that breath attack, which means he can't use it for a little while. So he's not really going to be able to do much with that, but he's not very happy with you right now. Now, again, everybody else is up on the hill, and everybody else is watching this. Do you guys want to help him?
While I'm hiding, I'm going to pop open a health potion, which is 4d4 plus 4.
Okay, I'm going to say 4d4 plus 4, which is 16. I'm going to say that just do the max for it. You're healed all the way back up to normal. All right, so Velnos is going to sprint into battle. Is anybody going to follow him?
I am going to cast Eagle Splendor on myself and try to make a diplomacy check on the guy. What do we get if we come out? Do we get to live? if we come out, or are you gonna kill us anyway?
While I'm hiding in the mist, can I coup de grace all the...
And you're going to get pluses to it because of the mist and because of the darkness. Also, you get a
how
plus.
much pluses?
I mean, I'll say you get an additional +3. He lets out a massive roar that then proceeds to lead him to turn his attention back to Cham. But he does point up at the hillside and say, "You are next, after I'm done with the frog." Cham, you move silently in the fog, so you rolled a 29 for move silently. So he's gonna have to do, because he can't see you, he's gonna have to do a listen check. So that's gonna be a 28. So you just edged him out. Basically, so Cham, that means that you are successfully able to coup de grace all the Dragonborn in the mist. So all of the guardlings are all dead. It's just the big boy now. And again, he has taken no damage whatsoever. However, he is alerted to your positions.
Speaking to character, I'm pretty content with being up here because I can toss a heal spell. I don't have to be near the punches. Syra's not real keen on taking punches. She's keen on giving them.
Yeah.